Governor, yesterday you called on the Virginia General Assembly for a special legislative session to pass amendments for the state's budget. Tell me about that. What are your priorities in this budget?
Well, let me begin. This should have been done back in January or February, and the progressive left, who controls our Senate, has been holding out. And we've now brought everybody together to, I think, reach a framework agreement. I haven't seen all the details, but at the end of the day, there's another $1 billion of tax relief. It's the people's money, not government's. That brings us to $5 billion of tax relief over the last 19 months. On top of that, we're going to invest in law enforcement and a record amount in schools. We've got learning loss we have to address because schools were shut for an extended, unnecessary period of time, and we've got to help our kids recover from these dramatic, unnecessary, and damaging effects during the pandemic that we're seeing the effects linger. Well, we got to go to work. I'm pleased with the framework. It has been a bringing together of disparate views. We're going to vote on it next week. I need to see the final details, but I'm encouraged.
How many of those plans, those policies could be a markup for the rest of the country, Governor? We are sitting at a point in time right now where the government is about to run out of money. On September 30th, the Republicans will come back and they will have to get their appropriations bills done in 2 weeks or face a government shutdown or a continuing resolution.
Well, we run a balanced budget in Virginia. We by code have to, but on top of that, we're running more efficiently. We had a $5 billion surplus this past year. That was on top of $4 billion of tax relief the year before. We're making sure that Virginia's government is run efficiently and effectively. We found $1.6 billion just in the last 12 months that did not need to be spent, that was appropriated. I think this is first and foremost recognizing it's the people's money, not government's money, and we can manage it appropriately.
Oh, and in the face of that, you've got this administration wanting more revenue from higher taxes.
Yeah, I just think there's nothing worse than we could do in the face of Bidenomic-driven recessions and inflation that is running away from the everyday American to turn around and raise taxes. We're providing tax relief to Virginians. We're driving job growth in Virginia. And what we're seeing is common sense conservative governance results in growth. We had a record employment base this past year. We've got people moving to Virginia as opposed to away from Virginia for the first time in 9 years. And the most important thing we're seeing is opportunity translate into jobs. And when people take jobs and they experience the dignity of work, we, in fact, can see all opportunities present themselves.
Yeah, it's a great
Maria,
point.
This is a moment for us to re-inject common sense, conservative governance back into what we're doing in government, as opposed to running so far left and removing responsibility and the dignity of work from so many Americans and Virginians.
Great point. You're also urging Republicans to take advantage of early voting. Talk to us about the Secure Your Vote initiative and how early voting could impact the upcoming election.
Well, we have our midterms in Virginia this year. They're huge elections. Our entire House, our entire Senate is up. I believe it's the most important election in America, and the reason is that we can demonstrate in 24 short months that a state that was completely controlled by the liberal left can, in fact, change directions with our statewide sweep back in 2021, and now we need to hold our House and flip our Senate. At the heart of it is getting Republicans off the sidelines and making a plan to vote early. We all want to make sure that your vote counts. You can go to secureyourvotevirginia.com, make a plan to vote early, either through absentee ballot or just going to the polls early. We've got to make sure every vote counts. I'm tired of watching elections where we as Republicans are down thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of votes on Election Day. We can do this better. We got to get Republicans off the sidelines and make sure that everybody secures their vote.
Governor, did you watch the first debate of the GOP season? Have you decided who you're endorsing?
Well, of course, I watched it, and I was encouraged by the fact that there is such a series of strong voices across America standing up for values that we know are so important. At the end of the day, I am deeply engaged in flipping our Senate and holding our House in Virginia. As I said, 2023, I think, is going to be the year of Virginia elections where we can demonstrate that common sense conservative values put to work in government can change the direction of a state and bring people together around a new set of priorities. I'm thinking that this will be an election that will hopefully give hope to the nation. and the nation can see that we can turn a state from a state that was controlled by Democrats to one that is completely controlled by Republicans.
Well, Governor, you've got filing deadlines coming up in terms of this upcoming election, and you've said that the filing deadlines need to get through. You said any decision from your jumping in the 2024 race would come after that. Are you still considering jumping into the 2024 race?
Maria, I've said over and over again how humbling it is to even talk about my name in this context. But I am so focused on Virginia elections this year to make sure that we deliver. We've got a giant agenda, and therefore I'm campaigning across Virginia for our House and Senate delegates and senators. I'm not in Iowa, and I'm not in South Carolina and New Hampshire. We're focusing on Virginia.
I know you are, but Nevada and South Carolina filing deadlines are happening in October, and then you've got a slew of other states with deadlines in early November. You've got to get through your Virginia legislation, but after that, you could miss the filing deadlines. You think you can get all of this done before the filing deadlines and enter the race?
Well, Maria, as I've said, there is nothing more important than us holding our House and flipping our Senate in Virginia. That's where my full attention is. And I am not paying attention to the filing deadlines, et cetera. I'm paying attention to making sure we hold our House and flip our Senate. I think this is so important for Virginians and for the nation to see that this can happen, that we can put to work conservative, common sense policies, and we can win. And we can bring together a state that was truly blue. People thought it was purple. We can turn it red. This is so important for us to get right, and that's why my focus is clearly on Virginia.
Governor, let me ask you this. We just get the GDP out. We're going to get to Cheryl in just a moment because it is weaker than what people were expecting. The GDP number coming in up 2.1%. You're a businessman, entered politics, and had great success because you focus on a growth strategy. Can you identify where the growth in America is right now?
Well, of course, there's still continued growth across many sectors in America today. The biggest challenge is that we're seeing the growth in southern states and Midwestern states that are run by Republican governors that have policies that are in place that are pro-business and pro-growth, and where we're seeing is real challenges in those states that are run by Democrat governors. I mean, this is pretty clear. And so that's why we're seeing population move to states run by Republican governors. We're seeing businesses move, and that's where we're seeing the growth. It just tells you the stark comparison between the progressive left's view of how to run an economy and free markets and free enterprise embraced by Republican governors. There is no greater example than comparing red states to blue states on how to manage an economy, how to manage growth. And this should be the very clear lesson for all Americans that free enterprise is the path forward, and high taxes and high regulations will crush your economy. And
by the way, you've also been spot on the China threat. You were among the first governors to push back on China buying land and on TikTok. Governor, it's good to see you. Thanks very much.